Instead of suffering through the YouTube chat, click like and subscribe. Breakker. On Raw last night, they announced that he was so angry after last week's Raw that he went home and he worked out until 5 a.m. and gave himself a hernia. Which is not what happened. But I guess they had to come up with some explanation.
You're allowed to make things up in wrestling, Brian.
You are, but you know what? Could you make this guy look like more of a lunkhead? I mean, he probably suffered this hernia, training or in football or God only knows what. Their storyline is he got so mad after an angle that he went home and worked out and gave himself a hernia. So, I don't know about it.
They needed to blame Pierce somehow.
I know, but they could have said, I don't know. I think what actually happened was he aggravated it when he flipped over that table. That's the story.
That solid oak reinforced table strikes again.
Golly, it may actually be. So anyway, he had an emergency surgery, and it is a legitimate emergency surgery. So this was not, hey, we're going to get him out of the Rumble early, and then we're going to suspend him, and he's going to get... Nope, he flipped that table. He wasn't feeling good, and they said, we got to do this right now. So they gave him the surgery, and it's a hernia, okay? And anybody can get a hernia, but, most of the people I know that have hernias are older people, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. Granny's got a hernia right now. Father-in-law hernia.
My wife had one and had immediate emergency surgery a couple of years ago.
Yeah, sometimes you need the emergency surgery, and sometimes you can just
hers was a strangulated hernia.
Yeah,
so
that's
they
bad.
Had to remove part of her bowel. Yeah.
But my point is, it's often when you get older, you end up with a hernia. And so if you go online and you see how long it's going to take for recovery, I think a lot of that is, the vast majority of people are older. And when you're older, it does take you longer to recover from these things. So one would think that he would be on the shorter end of the recovery scale since he is in his 20s. But it was a serious surgery. And all I know is within WWE, there is a feeling that he ain't going to be back by WrestleMania. He's going to be out a while. So we'll see. There are certain things that, remember John Cena, tore his triceps or his pec or whatever, and then, 4 months later, he won the Royal Rumble. He came back, really, really early. And then, of course, he didn't do a lot leading up to WrestleMania. He had more healing time. But I know with a hernia, it's what you do not want to do with a hernia is undo that surgery. And so I don't think this is one that you can try to come back early from. I expect that he's going to be out for a while. So all the best to him. I mean, the original plan was he was going to win the Royal Rumble and headline WrestleMania. And they changed plans for a number of reasons. And it's
probably quite glad now.
It's actually amazing when you think about it because
if he'd have won, they'd have been
he wasn't headlining Mania one way or the other. And if he had won the Royal Rumble, flipped that table over the next night and undergone emergency surgery, you just lost your WrestleMania main event just like that. So it's actually, I guess, fortuitous in some ways that he did not win.
For creative, not for him.
Well, for him it sucked either way. It didn't matter.
Yes. The Rumble, yeah.
I guess he could have it on his resume that he was a Royal Rumble winner, but anyway, that's what happened to Bron Breakker. So hopefully he's better soon. And Dave also, by the way, noted in the Observer that up until the day of the show, everyone's talking about, there's no way Sammy's going to win. There's no chance. Blah blah blah. It wasn't decided until the day of the show who was winning that match, and Sammy obviously was pushing to win the title, and they went back and forth and back and forth and. And they decided, nah, Drew's winning. So, if it was in discussions that he was going to win, maybe they have some plan, or maybe they just decided, you know what, we missed the peak, and that just ain't going to happen in this career.
Or maybe for the sake of morale, they didn't want to tell him 3 weeks ahead. It's nope, you're losing. So they say it's undecided yet, Sammy. We'll see.
Well, he didn't win. And maybe he'll win the Rumble next year and win the title at next year's Saudi WrestleMania, but he'd have to be really heated up to do that. Let me tell you at this point. Have you grabbed your F4WOnline.com shirt yet? Well, we got a bunch of them. They're up in the store right now. F4WOnline.com/shirts. You can grab your -5 stars shirt, your Dave Meltzer Wrestling Observer shirts, even the brand new After Dark Radio shirt. You love Granny? We have Granny's Gang shirts. Have you ever won a shoot battle royal? Probably not, but you can tell people you did. So check out the store. All of these great shirts and more. It's through Pro Wrestling Tees. F4WOnline.com/shirts. That's F4WOnline.com/shirts.